So in this video, I intend to present some features that I introduced after the last video that I made. I'm beginning with opening a database that I already created. This is a real life situation. I've used this database to write my last paper. So we have it here. And there we have it. It's of all this kind of snippets and so on and so forth. So the first thing is the option of creating a graph. Clicking on this button or choosing the corresponding menu option will open this window here. And we have here on the right all the tags that I added to the database, and I can select which ones I wanted to be presented in the graph. So let's say that I want to see anti-vax, attacks, conspiracy, and COVID, just as the beginning. I forgot to add, on this button here on the bottom, I can either select all or deselect all the items. So let's go again. Anti-vax, attacks, conspiracy, and COVID. Clicking on this button, we will create the graph. And there we have it. The blue circles are the references that are present in the database. The red squares are the tags as presented here, and the connections show how they interact with each other. So with the tag COVID, I have all these references, but for instance with COVID and conspiracy, it's just the 4 here. Okay, and with this button I can save the image with a number of different formats. The other thing is a bit more involved, and I'll start by adding a reference. In this case, I'm going to add something that I wrote myself. I won't fill the reference, but I will fill the file. Here, if I press Ctrl-O, it will open the file dialog and allow me to select, in this case, here we have it. Despite saying PDF files, I'll show this a bit later, but it can also work with ebook files, the EPUB format. So I'm opening it, and okay. So here we have it. The reference was added to the database. Now, if I click on the Open PDF, again, ebooks also work with this. This will show another window, and here I have the article I wanted to use. So these two buttons here allow me to move back and forth. So the second page, let's stay on the second page for a while. And here I can, once again, edit the reference. In this case, it's interesting doing so because if you remember, I left the reference, the title, blank, and here it can capture the actual title from the metadata from the file. And if I do it here, and I go back to the main window, I can see that the title is correctly shown. So the other thing I can do here is, let's suppose I want to add this bit here. So I will left click, drag the mouse across the area, and then release the left button. When I do that, it will show me this window with the selected text. I can read it, check if everything I wanted is here, and then if I click on New, it will automatically add a snippet to the reference with the text I chose. So let's see if I wanted to do this again. Let's say that I want to get this paragraph. Same thing, drag, leave, and here we have it, and I'll add a new one. And here we have the first one that I added, and this is the second one. But as you can see, this paragraph continues on the next page. So I'm going to the next page. I'm going to select the rest of the text that interests me. So let's say that I just want up to this line here. I have to cover the whole thing. And then instead of saying new, I'm going to choose the option append. So instead of creating a new entry, it will add the text. Of course, there are certain things I must edit. This, like for instance, we have a double quotation marks here because I added two citations to the same part, so I can erase those. And this part here does not interest me, so I'm going to edit out. This is a limitation because I can't select lines, only rectangles. The other thing I can do here, I'm done with this. I'm going to open another PDF file. In this case, I'm going to work not with a PDF. I'm going to open an ebook. Here I'm going to choose ebook files. And that's the book I want open. And in a moment, we have the book I wanted to add. So let's say I want to continue adding text here. And I have here, let's say I wanted to get the preface. So I'm going to do the same thing. But once I release the button, instead of getting that window, I'm going to get a warning because I have to add this to a reference first. Remember that I was working with another paper. Now I changed it, so I cannot add here. What I have to do is to create a reference for that. You see that the title is already filled up. The file is the one that I just chose, and I'm going to add an ID. And here it is. This is the previous one, and this is totally empty. Now, if I try to new, and there it is. So basically this is it. It's the, then I can close this window here. So you can always come back to the whatever paper you wanted. So if I click here and I click once again open PDF, it's going to open my article. If I go to the other one and I click on the same button, it will open the book. And that is all I had to show for today. Hope you like it. Till next time.